Brilliant, thank you, and welcome to this interview with the characters or the cast from A Matter of Law, which comes to the Blue Orange Theatre in May 2022. And I'm delighted to have Lee here with me. We were going to do this in a nice country pub somewhere, but unfortunately, this morning I was diagnosed with the coronavirus. And so I'm in isolation for a little while. So we're going to do it remotely, but it will work just as fine, we hope. So thank you for your time. First question, what role do you play in this show?
So I'm playing 4 different roles. I'm playing Tracy Wright, the psychologist. I'm playing PC Sanders, who's the police officer at the scene. I'm playing Samantha Robinson, who is Edwina's boss and the owner of the care home they work at. And not Tracy, the other one, Sarah Thompson, that one, who's the next door neighbour.
I fully forgive you. With 4 roles, it's hard to remember them all, I'm sure. That's excellent. And how easy or hard has it been to get into the mind of those characters?
I don't think it's been a case of it being easy or hard. I really enjoy the process of character development with whatever character or monologue or show or play it is. The second I get a character, like all the notebooks come out, all the highlighters, like all the fancy pens come out, and I'm like making notes everywhere. I think it's been a little bit more difficult for the majority of the characters, just because there's a significant age gap between me and kind of the age of the characters. So it's been something new and something challenging and something interesting to get behind, and just a process that I'm really enjoying.
Cool, thank you very much. What makes this show different from any other theatre show that might be happening in May?
I think what's different with this one is the audience are indirectly and also directly involved with the outcome of the show, whether Edwina's guilty or not guilty. With pretty much any show, with a lot of shows, you kind of get one overall perspective or opinion of said character on their journey throughout the show. You either like them, you don't like them, they're the villain, they're the good guy, they're, whoever they are. With this play though, everybody in the audience will probably have a completely different idea or perspective of Edwina, because she's painted out to be this person who's potentially abusing her husband, and then someone else comes in and gives a piece of evidence and that could completely change their mind. So I think it's very different in that term, that everyone in the audience is going to have a different perspective and is involved in the outcome of the show. It could go either way.
Cool, thank you very much. I'm not going to ask you to describe all 4 of the characters because I don't want to give anything away, because they are witnesses in the court situation, so we won't do that. But what do you think of the other people who are taking part in this show? Bearing in mind I'm the director and I'm also your judge for the show, be careful what you say.
No, everybody's really lovely. It was really nerve-wracking kind of walking into the room doing the read-through for the first time, because I've never done a show with this company before, so I've never met anybody. So I was like, what am I walking into? But everyone's really lovely. And what I like as well, when we did the filming for the first time and really got the acting in place to get the filming done, was everyone just really easily like bounced off each other, even though we hadn't like had a lot of practice time, and just made it really easy. And it was just a really comfortable and great environment. So everyone's lovely.
Thank you very much. Wise words there spoken. Maybe I'll ask you after the show's finished. It is interesting. I mean, this is a totally new cast for this performance. So I've actually not worked with any of the cast before, apart from Alexander, who plays Susan Smithers, who also played Susan Smithers in the online version. So it's a return to the role for her, but everybody else are new to me and new to Gentlemen Theatre Company. And I was just so pleased when we did the table read, and you get that feeling, yeah, I chose the right people. So that's a really nice feeling. Okay, in your opinion, as your character or characters, let's take them one by one. Do you think that Edwina is guilty or not guilty of the charges laid against her?
So I think PC Sanders thinks she's guilty. The second that she walks into the house, she's very dead set on, yep, you're guilty, I know who you are, that's it. She's not really having her mind changed. I think Tracy Wright, the psychologist, is a little bit in the middle. I think she's kind of trying to diffuse both sides. so obviously she's a psychologist to both of them, so she can't really give a one-sided answer. I think Samantha Robinson, the care home owner, Edwina's boss, is pretty convinced that she's innocent and that there are things going on at home and that she is the victim in the situation. I think the next door neighbor, Sarah Thompson, it's always that one.
Yeah.
Sarah Thompson thinks that she definitely doesn't like Edwina. I think when she gets to the court, she's pretty convinced that, again, Edwina is Trevor is the victim in the situation.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. And the play is deliberately written neutrally, insofar as you've already pointed out, that two people could go together to watch the show. One could think that Edwina should rot in hell, and the other think that maybe she needs support from the mental health team because he's the problem. And that was very difficult to write it that way, because the temptation was to make her out as the villain, and the fact is we wanted to show real life, that sadly good people go to prison and bad people sometimes get away with it, and that's reality. So that was very important to us that we did that. So why should people come to see this show?
I think it's one of those shows that has a very important message behind it about domestic abuse. It's one of those situations that probably isn't talked about as much as it should be, and people unfortunately aren't kind of educated on how to notice it, how to pick up on it. So I think it's one of those shows that, as well being something to come and watch, it's entertainment, it's a show, that's the purpose of it. It's also educational, and gives people an insight into kind of what happens. But you say domestic abuse and you kind of have like one perspective of it, but actually it's completely different. There's so much more that goes on than what you think. So I think it's definitely something that's education as well as entertainment.
Brilliant, thank you, Lee. And it's interesting as well because we have a charity that works with victims of domestic abuse coming on the Friday afternoon between 2 and 4, and they're actually running a workshop on understanding victims of domestic abuse. It's an accredited workshop. Details are available either on our website, twogensme.co.uk, or via Eventbrite, and you can book spaces for that. That course is free. And why not stay or come back that evening and then watch the production? Tickets are only £15, so that's really cool. Thank you. So a little bit more about you. What other theatre work have you done?
There's been a lot. I started when I was really young at a kids theatre company doing like musicals and showcases and that kind of thing. I went on to study musical theatre at high school for GCSE, and then I did a level 3 extended diploma in performing arts at college. Around that as well, I've done various different shows with various different companies. There's an academy where I am a teaching assistant at now in film and television. When I was a student there, we had amazing opportunities. We got to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival twice and put on plays. I think my favourite one that I've done with them was the West End show. We got to go to the West End and do a show for the night, which was amazing, dream come true.
Yeah, awesome. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. So we're coming towards the end of this interview, which is a shame, but like everything has to come to an end. If you could play any role, theatre, TV or film, what role would you choose and why that role?
My dream role to play in theatre is Raven from Bat Out of Hell, the musical. I adore Meatloaf's music so much. I've been to see the show a few times, and it's brilliant. It's amazing. And like Raven is my dream role. I love singing the songs. It just gives me chills when I listen to the soundtrack. So definitely Raven. In terms of TV, I'd love to play like a Gillian Anderson in the Fall kind of role, that kind of police person, police woman, or like private detective or something like that. I like the kind of the mystery and like the darkness of that character. So
Excellent, brilliant. And the last question, what do you think you'll take? What's the one thing that you will take away from doing this show, other than the wigs?
Other than how many wigs? I think one thing that I've already started to take from the show is actually through Tracy Wright's character. Obviously she's quite a neutral character in between Trevor and Edwina, and the character kind of explores sort of behind the reason why the suspected or definite abuse has happened. And I kind of don't mind sharing that that's something I've been through and experienced, and the stuff that I've read in the script and through her character, and it's been like, oh, I recognize that, that's familiar. But I think it's been really interesting to look at both sides of both characters and kind of why it's happened. I think already that's given me a little bit of clarity of why certain things have happened in my life and kind of understanding that. So that's definitely been interesting. But as well, you know, from just every experience, just being with other people who have a lot more experience than me in the industry, and just learning as much as I can from them from an acting point of view.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lee. So we are looking forward to the show coming to the Blue Orange Theatre the 12th to the 14th of May. That's Thursday the 12th, Friday the 13th, touch wood. And then we have two shows on the Saturday matinee at 2 o'clock, and then the evening performance at 7 o'clock. The matinee performance is a pay what you want, or buy what you can, should I say, on the door. So if you feel that £15 is not enough, you're more than welcome to turn up on the door, and if there are spaces available, you can purchase those tickets for any amount of money you wish to pay. Equally, if you're struggling and money is tight, you can come along and give what you feel you can give to the performance on Saturday afternoon. If you book your ticket online, the price is £15. It's not possible for us to change that. So that's going to be quite exciting. And tickets are available on www.blueorangetheatre.co.uk. That's www.blueorangetheatre.co.uk, and they're on sale now. They've already started to sell, and we're quite anticipating there will be a high demand for these tickets in the run-up to the show. So please don't miss this opportunity. Lee, thank you for giving me your time. I'll let the listeners into a secret that we've done this interview twice, because the first time it only recorded me and not you. The computer obviously knows who's most important in this production. That's not
you said
true
modestly.
Modestly, but no, it's been a privilege to write this piece, and to be directing it this time is quite exciting. I want to say a special thank you to Phil Tillett, who has built or is building the stage set, which is looking fantastic. Knocks socks off what I managed to put together for the festival in 2019. It's going to be a very, very exciting show, and we can't wait to see you there. Thank you.